It's strange and heartbreaking to hate yourself. It's a torment that chews at the very core of your being and often expresses itself through self-destructive behaviors and feelings of unworthiness. But what causes someone to feel such intense hatred towards themselves? The answer lies in the past, particularly in the absence of love during childhood. C's father was a stern and demanding figure in C's life. He set high expectations for C from a young age, often criticizing C harshly for any perceived failures or shortcomings. But he believed in tough love, thinking that pushing C to strive harder would make him stronger and more successful. However, these harsh words and relentless pressures had the opposite effect on C. It planted seeds of self-doubt and self-criticism deep within him. C internalized the criticism and began to view life through a negative lens as a person who was never quite good enough. Childhood years are the most important years of our lives. They serve as the foundation upon which our sense of self is built, where we learn to navigate the world, forge relationships, and internalize crucial messages about our worthiness and belonging. However, for some people, this judgmental journey is damaged by neglect, emotional abandonment, or outright abuse, leaving them adrift in a sea of loneliness and insecurity. Studies have shown that the quality of early attachment experiences significantly influences your self-esteem and emotional well-being later in life. As a child, when you're deprived of love, warmth, and validation, you internalize a distorted image of yourself as unlovable and unworthy, and it becomes the lens through which you perceive the world, coloring your interactions and shaping your beliefs about your place in it. According to experts, self-hatred often stems from unresolved emotional wounds accumulated during childhood. Self-hatred is sometimes a natural reaction to a traumatic event. In our needs to provide an explanation or meaning for what happened, we may blame others or even ourselves for it. As a result, self-hate is a defense mechanism aimed at shielding yourself from the pain of repressed emotions and traumatic memories. By directing your anger and contempt inward, you avoid confronting the sources of your suffering, though at a great cost to your mental and emotional well-being. Moreover, the absence of nurturing relationships during childhood deprives you of the emotional scaffolding needed to develop a healthy self-concept. Without the mirror of loving caregivers to reflect back your inherent worth, you internalize a distorted self-image defined by feelings of inadequacy and shame. This in turn becomes a breeding ground for self-hatred, as you may struggle to reconcile the stark contrast between your perceived flaws and societal expectations. Continuing with the story, Sai excelled professionally in adulthood but struggled with self-doubt and feelings of unworthiness at every turn. Socially, Sai's tendency to compare with others only reinforces negative beliefs and feelings of inadequacy. Intimacy felt threatening, as vulnerability meant exposing deeply rooted self-doubt. When alone, Sai replayed old memories, each one twisted into proof of unworthiness, a burden I carried while hiding behind a facade of indifference. Clinical psychologist and writer Dr. Sherry Campbell highlights the paradox of self-hatred, describing it as a misguided form of self-preservation rooted in selfishness. She argues that self-hatred is ultimately a form of self-absorption, where you become fixated on your perceived shortcomings to the exclusion of everything else. By wallowing in self-pity and self-criticism, you unwittingly worsen your own suffering, unable to break free from the cycle of negativity that swallows you. The consequences of self-hatred and interpersonal conflict, where unresolved feelings of unworthiness can manifest in destructive behaviors towards yourself and others. From substance abuse to aggression, self-hatred can cast a long shadow over every aspect of your life. So what is the antidote to self-hatred? While the journey towards self-compassion and healing may be difficult, it is not impossible. Therapy, specifically approaches like attachment-based therapy and cognitive behavioral therapy, can provide a safe space for you to explore and confront the root causes of your self-hatred. Through introspection, self-awareness, and compassionate self-talk, you can begin to challenge the negative beliefs and self-defeating patterns that have held you captive for so long. Ultimately, the path to self-love begins with acknowledging the profound impact of early experiences on our sense of self-worth. By fostering a nurturing inner dialogue and cultivating meaningful connections with others, individuals can gradually dismantle the walls of self-hatred and reclaim their inherent worthiness. In the end, it is through embracing our vulnerabilities and honoring our unique journey that we pave the way for genuine self-acceptance and inner peace. What are your thoughts on this video? Share your experiences in the comments below. If you've overcome self-hatred, your story could inspire and help others on their journey to self-love and healing. Thanks for watching.